Welcome to Mobile Armor Radio, the podcast for all things Mecha. Jumpship incoming.
Hello everyone and welcome to another amazing, exciting, thrilling episode of Mobile Armor Radio. This is episode 48, which means we're on the season 4 season finale.
Yay!
I refuse to acknowledge.
Yeah. I'm one of your hosts, Brian.
And I'm Chopper.
I'm Rob.
And yeah, we've been doing this for a full 4 years, and we're going to be going on to a season 5.
Yeah, no one that's threatened our lives or told us to stop.
Yeah, we got renewed. Yeah,
we got to just get through season 5, and then we can be syndicated.
Oh,
yeah, there we go. That's when the big bucks start showing up.
That's when we can be on MeTV and
the secondary channels.
Yeah, all the secondary channels. We'll come on somewhere between Friends and Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There is no spot between those because they're on constantly.
Yeah. We'll be in the commercial breaks.
Yeah.
But we got a pretty filled episode for you here today. And so I think we'll get right into the Dropship and talk about what we're working on.
Pat, we actually got some banter in there. Brian didn't just cut us off and go right to Dropship.
Right. I was a little thrown off.
I'm trying, guys. I want better.
Maybe because it's the season finale.
It's the season finale. You gotta be excited.
Dropship landing.
All right, here we are in the Dropship. This is the section of the show where we talk about things we've been working on in our hobby time. And I think I'm going to throw it over to Pat first. What have you been working on?
Well, surprisingly enough, I have had some time to work and do some stuff.
No more excuses?
No more excuses. I mean, the basement still needs, and the office is in a work in progress. But I'm at a point now where I can work again.
That's good.
So what things have I worked on? So I put together all my Ignition Core minis. I did a small unboxing, as you saw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on our YouTube channel. Check it out.
On our YouTube. So Mobile Armor Radio presents.
Like, subscribe, click that
Notification bell.
Hit the bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm so terrible. I don't even know the names of these things.
Yeah, you know why. We don't have a YouTube rant like those other professionals do.
Yeah. We gotta get on the TikToks.
On the TikToks, that's exactly what it is. So I put together all those together and primed them, and I started painting my Oni faction troops. I don't remember if I posted the test model on Mobile Armor Radio or not.
I believe you did.
So you can see what I did there. I did kind of like a red and black. It didn't turn out as well as I wanted to. It looked a little muddy, so I'm going to play around with the black some more.
Gotcha. A little lighter.
Yeah.
Detail to pop.
Exactly. So, and maybe make the red a little bit brighter.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are
good-looking minis.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I was looking through some different Oni anime pictures online, trying to get an idea, and then I saw this one. I can't even remember what anime it was from, but the Oni were just like almost all black, but with the red highlights, and it really popped. And I really want the same thing. The difference is with digital art and painting is that they can make the blacks really pop when they want it to with just a button.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas I had to figure it out. And so I got a couple things I'm going to do. I'm going to try some different grays and then maybe wash them so it tones the grays down a little bit, but it still leaves them like a highlight.
Yeah. So
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably a good way to
So I'm going to go back and repaint everything black that turned out muddied. And then try it again. So, I was into that for a while, and then I'm just not into it anymore.
The Zenithal highlights?
Yeah, it just wasn't, the way I paint, it doesn't, I guess the way my painting style works, it doesn't utilize the Zenith.
You just paint right over it anyways?
Yeah, in the best ways. You know what I'm saying? I don't use a lot of washes and inks.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely
like
have to use washes and inks for those.
Like James Wapple does, and eventually I would like to be able to do what he does. You know, he just takes his big old brush and he hits it across the face a couple times. And next thing you know, you got this fantastic looking mini. I don't know what kind of sorcery he does, but he gets it done.
It's not fair comparing to like Golden Demon winners, so.
Yeah.
So anyone who's looking to, he does a lot of Twitch streams, and he paints all different kinds of things. You can check out his YouTube channel, James Wapple. Just search for him, and you just see all the incredible stuff he does. He paints like minis in a night, like over a 2-3 hour stream.
Gotcha.
And like
It's
huge quality
ridiculous.
too. It's not like he's
it's very
slapping
ridiculous.
some stuff on like I do, but yeah.
But it's also a good way to learn different techniques too. So like I still watch him. I can't do what he does just yet because that's not, again, the way I taught myself to paint. So I'd have to kind of almost reteach myself to paint the way he does.
Yeah.
But I am taking some good ideas from him to kind of modify the way I'm painting. So
That's what you got to do.
But yeah, so after I get these Oni done, then I'll be working on the Paladin faction, which is the more Gundam style faction. And I probably, in my head, I'm thinking I'm probably going to stay away from the blue and white of the standard Gundam colors. And kind of just probably, kind of make my own kind of, I don't know, I'm leaning towards a green-yellow kind of combination.
I'd still say lots of non-metallic metal. Yeah, you don't want to be a Packer. You want non-metallic metals. Everything, the whole thing non-metallic metals. I think that's what you got to do.
Non-metallic metals? Jesus, no.
I actually hate non-metallic metals. I'm like, that's why they made metallic paint. You don't need to do that.
I don't hate non-metallic metals. I don't hate them, but I can't do them, and I don't want to do them, if you know if that makes sense.
The thing I hate when I see people do is make that, when they do chrome, and it's like, looks like a mirror finish, but they painted it. I'm like, you bastards. How dare you?
So, what else have I did? I also finished up my Hornet for Firefight. I put that up, I think. Maybe I didn't.
I don't know if that one made it up.
It ended up in someone's Facebook group. It might have been the Firefight fans.
I threw it up somewhere. I don't know where I put it.
It's up there somewhere. It's on the internet.
A Hornet is a flyer for Firefight, if anybody.
Yeah, troop transport. Yeah. Mech in a sense, I guess, in the loose sense. But these are the kind of things. I work at several different things at the same time. As I'm cleaning up the basement, I stared at my Neo Zhong again and just shook my head.
Yeah, I mean, you started it again. That's going to be your
white whale.
White whale. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Well, it was a white whale for a long time. Remember, I tried to get it. I've been trying to get it, and now that I got it,
now it's your whale that you don't finish.
Yeah, now it's not. Now I'm Ahab, and it's taking me down.
You're strapped to it, and you're sinking.
I was trying. Yeah, I've thrown my harpoon in it. Now it's dragging me down the ocean.
Next thing you know, you're going to get a whole bunch of other people to like help you try to paint it, and then you'll take them down with you.
I'm too stubborn to let anyone else help me with that thing. That thing, I'm going to take it down myself. Yeah, I'm going to take it down myself.
Yeah.
Even
one of you's dying.
Yeah, one of us is going to die. So, I think that's it. All I've worked on. I mean, the Ignition Core is pretty much the coolest things I've gotten to date.
That came quick. Yeah. It was like, I'm amazed how fast it came.
Yeah, it came within 2 days. We do have now a link on our Facebook page. Where's that link at, Rob?
Yeah, there's an affiliate link. I think it's in the last episode and it's on the Facebook page. But you just go there and type in Mobile Armor Radio, all one word. All the words have capitals, and you get 10% off. So, there you go. And,
And he's got some new models he's been posting on our Facebook group. Some of the new models that are coming out that last support mech look really good.
Yeah, it's a Paladin.
Is that another Paladin?
And I think too, he was able, like, since we last spoke to him, I think he was able to get some of his army bundles to a bit of a cheaper state. Yeah. So, or at least, more affordable. And that's pretty cool. Like the quality is definitely there. and we love to see it. So definitely check it out and use that coupon code. It's good for a while.
This is not a paid advertisement. And Pat had to pay for those miniatures.
It's true.
This was a paid
I did support our local mech game guy by purchasing, but he was nice enough to give a discount to all our listeners. So
yeah, that was really cool.
Support the local mech guy and take the discount.
More on that later.
Rob. Yeah. Rob, what have you been working on?
I have a lot of stuff for once. It was amazing. I got into myself that I wanted to do some Transformers, like 3D printing some Transformers. And nobody does Transformers that I could find. Like, if anybody knows of a Patreon that does STLs for Transformers, like actual Transformers, not just, weird things, I would be interested. I know it's copyright infringement, but I don't care. But instead, I found a guy who's making articulated Transformer action figures to 3D print. And what I'm doing is going into Cura and assembling them to make miniatures to print. So scaling them down 30% or so and making my own miniatures out of that, it's a long process because you're taking assembled miniatures or like parts, like literally hundreds of parts, and putting them together in Cura to make a miniature. But instead of printing all little parts and trying to build it, I'm doing it this way, which is much safer on my sanity. And I do have the link to this guy's page. It's all his Transformers are free, so go 3D print some Transformer action figures, and if you want, you could try to do what I did and assemble them into miniatures. So that's the one thing I've been working on. I've done, I don't know, quite a few so far. I printed up quite a few of the guys, and it's been fun. I also actually painted something. I painted randomly. I don't know why it ended up being Free Worlds League that I've done, but I did the Fusiliers of the Orient Lance, and they're green with green highlights, which was interesting to do green on green, and trying to make it so you could actually see the two different colors of green. But I did those. I posted a picture of that up on the Facebook. And it's been probably a year since I painted something, so it's good to get back into that. Pat wanted to assemble those guys, so we actually hobbied, so it was a good thing. Hopefully we get to more hobbying, because we play too many video games, and they just rot your brain. I also 3D printed a Sentinel from the Trident. It's called Trident Patreon. I guess it's just Trident. I don't know. Anyways, they do a lot of like superheroes. But I did another Sentinel, so I have two different types of Sentinels now, which is cool because I like them. And also the Pacific Rim Extinction Kickstarter Wave 1. I'm not sure about Wave 2 if it shipped, but Wave 1 shipped, which I got, and never got any other further waves. But they kind of ran into something called the coronavirus, and they kind of failed, really. The Kickstarter was not able to do what they were doing to finish off the thing. So River Horse has been putting up print and play bundles for the board game, which includes STLs for the miniatures, which I thought was crazy. It's expensive. They're like $100 bundles, but obviously they have to pay for the licensing, so I think that's why they're so expensive. But since I'm back to Wave 1, I got the Wave 1 STLs, so I did print up. The only one I didn't have, I have all the miniatures other than Obsidian Fury, so from the second Pacific Rim. It was the drone one. I printed him up, and he looks pretty cool and I put him right next to some of the other miniatures from that Kickstarter originally was pre-painted miniatures, which is another thing, which is crazy that they were able to do that. And unfortunately, they weren't able to finish that, but it was a neat experiment, and I'm sure they lost a lot of money on that, but it's kind of cool that we can, if we really want Pacific Rim miniatures and you're willing to pay those prices, you can get some minis. The link is in the show notes also for that, if you want to go print those up. And they're cool. If you want to do a mass battle game with Pacific Rim, you could do that. you could always cut up the miniatures too with like mesh mix or something and make your own.
That's true.
So,
true.
I think that's all I've done. I've done a lot, but that was it.
Wow, yep. That's that was a lot. I on the plus side, I also have something to contribute for once on the hobby side. With the Dead Zone Summer campaign going on, and kind of the launch of Firefight Second Edition from Mantic Games, I had kind of a big push to get my GCPS force, which is my main kind of Gundam themed list, up to speed as far as model counts go. Dead Zone is played where you have like just about a dozen models maybe. Firefight you need about 30 or so. So it's about 3 to 4 times the model count that I'm used to for those guys. But it was fun because I continued my paint scheme where they're set up as the Earth Federal Forces with that tan khaki kind of going on, and it was something where I painted the original set like almost 3 years ago. I think I was doing the math on it earlier, and so I've continued the same paint scheme of that, but now I've got some better paints than I did back then. And on a hobby note, I finally kind of broke out some nice paintbrushes. It's designed for miniature painting. I kind of had like one army painter brush that I'd had for the longest time, and that was like my good brush. And I was painting some other stuff, and it's starting to get really frayed, and it's like bleeding into other areas, and I'm like, I should just break out my nice brushes. Because I'm that kind of person that I've got to save these for like a special occasion. But I think I was watching Thunderhead Studios, who is painting a GCPS force himself for Firefight, and he was doing a Twitch stream of it, and he had these paintbrushes that really nice tips to them and everything. I'm like, I think it's time to really kind of up my game in that front. So I did, I think, another 10. It was like half Rangers, half Marines painted up. And then I also did a Hornet, much like Pat did. I actually painted mine in the theme of a Medea transport ship from Gundam. So it's kind of got a tan, light brown kind of color to it, and then like a big green cargo container. I got to say, it's always fun painting to a theme like Gundam, especially those older cartoons that like the color combinations that they went with seem really weird and obtuse. But when you actually see them together, like a light brown and a really strong green, it works. Somehow, I guess they knew what they were doing when they put those together. So that's been fun, and I magnetized that Hornet as well, so I can do all the different weapon options, and I can take off that cargo container. So had a lot of fun doing it. But that was kind of the extent of my hobby time. That took up a lot of it. And so I think that puts a wrap on the Dropship. So I think we'll move right on into the ComStar then, because we got a lot of stuff to cover in that as well.
Message from ComStar.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Rick.
From Dead Zone the Podcast.
And you're listening to
Mobile Armor Radio. All right, welcome to ComStar. This is the section of the show where we talk about TVs, movies, books, comics, RPGs, video games, everything else under the sun, and some things behind it. And we've got quite a list of things lately in the mech scene. So I think I'll turn it over to Rob first.
Yeah, there's lots of news at least. I was going to mention this before, but the reason I'm doing so many Transformers is because Bot Wars is now free to download. So it's a game that was loosely based on G.I. Joe and Transformers, and they've added a few other factions in out of Australia. And I always wanted to get into it, but the shipping from Australia was always ridiculous. So now they got the actual rules for free. So I'm going to check it out. And once again, in the show notes, you can go to the page. You can download all the resources for it. But our buddy Beetle is a big fan. He's got a few of the factions. He was actually going to run us through it at Adepticon, but unfortunately none of us went to it. Yes.
I did.
Well, neither Beetle nor I went to it.
Rob and Beetle didn't go.
So we never got to actually try out Bot Wars, but hopefully next year we'll get to do that.
You can try it at Gen Con.
I don't think Beetle goes to Gen Con.
Oh, we'll do it ourselves.
We don't need him. Screw that guy. Anyways.
You don't need no Beetle.
No, Beetle's a good guy.
No, Beetle's a good guy.
The only thing you're missing, I guess, with Bot Wars is they do have custom dice, but you can always figure out what the sides do anyways, so I think it'll be fine. So check that out. It's fun. They have different scales too, which is interesting because they obviously have the robot scale for the Transformers, but they also have like a 28mm scale for the G.I. Joes too, so they have like different ways to play, which is kind of fun. Anyways, lots of Kickstarters launched like all at once, which is weird. We got Steel Colosseum, which was a while ago was on Kickstarter, but it didn't catch on, and they revamped it. It's from the people who did Hellboy, the Mantic game, the guys who did design that.
It's Needy Cat?
Yeah, Needy Cat Games. They're working with Zatu Games now, and they've revamped Steel Colosseum. It's mechs fighting in a Colosseum, obviously, with the name. Kind of like, what was that Hugh Jackman movie?
Real Steel.
Real Steel. I think it's kind of like that. So you're fighting in the Colosseum, battling some robots, which is fun. So that's on Kickstarter.
I know friend of the show, John Jack, play tested the rules way back when.
Mm.
Yeah, so...
Is anyone going to back this?
I might. It was on my might list, for sure. Once again, I might just wait for it to come out, too. But I have so many things. It's just... I have too many things.
My gaming budget has been pretty tight lately. And Kickstarter projects, with them being so far out a lot of times. Plus, I think the last couple of Kickstarter projects I've gotten are ones that I'm like, I don't know how much I'm actually going to wind up playing this now.
Why did I back this? Yeah. I've had that feeling a few times.
A little bit of that. Stuff. Not Mecha stuff, but other projects.
Yeah, like you get it 3 years later and you're like, really? I was a different place back then.
Literally.
Yeah. Another Kickstarter out is Everyday Heroes RPG, which is a 5e, but in like the whole basis of it is to play like firemen and things like that, like policemen, like everyday heroes, obviously. So it's a modern day RPG for 5e, but they have tons of expansions, including a Pacific Rim expansion, and they're doing it as like a subscription model almost, where they come out with a different expansion every month. So this is on Kickstarter right now. For the PDFs, it's not too bad, but for the actual, like, you can only buy it as a bundle with all of them, and it was quite expensive. So I'm gonna wait for sure for this just to get the book and then just the ones I want, because they have I think part of it there's a like Rambo and Highlander, like there's all these different expansions that are built around this system. So there's a few good ones. I think Godzilla, like there's a few interesting ways they're using this system. So it'll be kind of fun. I'm sure these guys will be around. I can't remember the name of the company that is it. I can't remember.
Evil Genius Games?
Evil Genius, that's them. Yep. So that's on Kickstarter. I will be waiting for that. I'm sure I'll be able to pick it up at Gen Con or Adaptacon or somewhere, and I will be doing that. And once it comes to retail. And the other one that's out is Warzone Etrenal, which is obviously Mutant Chronicles back in the day, and then it was Warzone Resurrected, I think, was the other game Protoss made that kind of petered out. This is another company has taken up the mantle to do a Warzone skirmish game. And so far no mechs, but the original game and the second version had mechs in it, so I assume this, when it gets expansions, will actually have mechs too. I've always loved the Mutant Chronicles world. I love the movie, even though a lot of people make fun of that movie, but Thomas Jane's in it, and it's awesome. And I have the Siege of the Citadel Kickstarter from that took like 5 years to come out, but so there's a lot of miniatures in there too. So I'll be definitely checking out this, probably buying the book at least, and maybe once again these. I think they might be Chicago guys, or at least around you guys' area, Michigan or Chicago guys. So I'm sure they'll be at Adepticon, so I'll probably check that out there too.
Yeah,
I think Rick knows him, doesn't he, Brian? I think he.
I think he does. Yeah. So I don't know how he knows them.
Who knows? He's a social guy. He knows a lot.
He's a very sociable guy. The odds are is that he knows them from Alaska.
Yeah,
because
who knows?
Rick just invariably finds people in Michigan from Alaska. He's an Alaskan magnet.
He is the co-host of Dead Zone the podcast with Brian there, and he's originally from. Well, I don't know, but originally, but he lived in Alaska for a long time. So I think when you're in Alaska, everybody knows everybody. So I think that's just the way it is. they all have to like huddle together for warmth. So you get to know people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Another bit of news is Hawkeye director Rhys is supposedly going to helm a Robotech adaptation. I'll believe it when I see it, because this is how many different directors have been attached to this, but we'll see if this actually happens this time.
Yeah.
But, man.
It's really been a revolving door for a while.
Yeah. But we have the Gundam movie coming, supposedly still, so this is going to be fun. And I want to see Robotech. It's funny how it's always Robotech and not Macross. It's odd.
Yeah.
I guess it's because it's Americans doing it, so.
Yeah, there's probably different license considerations if you use Macross.
Yeah. I think last time we talked about a bundle on what is it, Itch.io? I don't know.
Itch.io.
Yeah, Itch.io as I like to call it. This one's a Get the Robot bundle. It's 35 RPGs and minigames, all mech-based, starting at $5, including Mecha Hack and its expansions. So if you're wanting into that, it's worth it just to get those, because it's worth more than that right there. And I'm sure it's for helping all these small companies make it mech games. So lots of fun in there.
Yeah.
I definitely back that one because hey, you can't have too many mech games. So I got to check.
There's a lot of great indie stuff on that platform.
Yeah. But Pat, wake up.
Yes.
He's falling asleep, this guy. Anyways, Love, Death, and Robots Volume 3 is coming out on Netflix. We've seen trailers for that. Hopefully it'll have a lot more robots. Less love and death.
It looks to be much more action-oriented than the second season. I think the second season kind of took more of the... not like a high sci-fi feel to it, but there was a lot more of like, oh, what if this were the case? A lot of kind of different kind of stories, stretching that science fiction
artistic
a lot. Yeah, very artistic. And but this new trailer that dropped definitely put a lot more emphasis on the action side of things. So I think we're going to be in for some really really cool shows here, and it's actually coming out as of this recording tomorrow. So
yeah, and actually just come out, I think today or as of this recording, was second season of standalone complex, the Ghost in the Shell TV show, which is, I'm amazed that that got a second season. We'll see. I don't think it'll get a third, but so that.
I don't think I watched the first one.
Oh, it's great. They actually recut the first one into a movie. So if you don't want to watch the whole series, you can watch just the movie version. Very Japanese.
And that's the 20, is it 2049 or something like that?
2045, I think it is, yeah.
45?
I'm about to check that out then, the movie part.
Yeah, it's good.
So the TV show, was the TV show not that all that good, you saying?
Oh, it was great. I loved it. But I'm amazed that it got us, like, Netflix right now, especially, they're bleeding money, so a lot of these things won't be back.
and they've been axing a lot of the animation department.
That's what I was just gonna say. They just fired like 30 people from the animation department. So unfortunately, I don't think we'll get any more Love, Death, and Robots, and I don't think we'll get any more of the Ghost in the Shell. But hopefully, somewhere else picks up these kind of cool stuff. So
yeah.
Pat, you know this one. Cybertronic Spree has got it on Kickstarter now too. Another Kickstarter.
Yep.
New album.
Their third album? I'm forgetting what album this is.
It's their first original album. They've done cover albums before, I think.
That's right.
Yeah, they've done a lot of cover albums.
This is their first original, all new music. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
You backed it?
I did. I backed it to the ridiculous price of getting a transforming USB drive.
Yeah. Nice.
It's because the album's called Ravage, and it transforms into Ravage, which is hilarious.
For those unfamiliar, Cybertronic Spree they dress up as Transformers characters, and
they're from Cybertron.
Traditionally,
they don't dress up. They're from Cybertron. Come on.
They are from Cybertron.
It's a band from Cybertron.
I misspoke.
Omnicron and Unicron are there too.
But yeah, they're actually from Canada, which I think's hilarious. But they've been doing this for I don't know how many years.
Quite a few now.
I'd say almost like 9 years. It's been like 9 years.
Yeah, they've been around a long time, and it's just it's like war for geeks. It's like that's what it is.
They definitely have a cult following.
Yeah, for sure. They're great.
And well deserved. They're good.
More footage from the new Mobile Suit Gundam TV show. Brian, I think you posted it on the Facebook page.
Yep, the Cucuruz Doan's Island movie is been they've been leaking some footage for it officially, and it's going to be premiering in Japan June 3rd actually. I forget if they're doing much for a simulcast. If they have plans to post like to have it on Netflix or something like that, I'm not entirely sure.
Hopefully, at least they have it available, and sometimes do limited release theaters and things like that.
Yeah,
we'll see it somewhere, I'm sure. The footage actually had English subtitles, though, didn't it? So,
yeah, they definitely have been pushing like the like a simultaneous kind of announcement and release of this series, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's definitely a harkens back to like if you've been watching the Gundam The Origins anime movies and episodes that have come out. It's that same Yas aesthetic. The uniforms got a bit of a change though, in that I think like Bright's uniform is no longer that tan. It's actually like a navy for the Navy, I guess.
He wants to look more like what's his name? Is it Dolza? No, from Robotech and Macross. What's his name?
Oh, Global.
Global, yeah. He wants to look more like him. That's why he's just trying to look cool.
He's like half his age, but
he looks up to him.
But yeah, no, it looks pretty exciting, especially if you like that aesthetic. I think it stands out in all the other like giant robot shows and everything that come out these days to have this very old style of animation. Like the faces can do like really goofy looks from time to time, and it's a Gundam series that like they just kind of they don't mind embracing their kind of weirder moments, if that makes sense. Like they a lot of other series are, they go very serious and it's always serious all the time. These guys don't mind doing like weird, goofy things where like their eyes will be like all distorted and weird on their face, and they make weird gestures and stuff
when they're surprised and things. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Gundam.
And lastly, my actual thing that I've done is I've been watching Fang of the Sun Dougram. It's something I've never seen. It's from 1981. Like, it's one of the OGs.
It's a Dougram?
Yeah, it's Fang of the Sun Dougram. It's where actually a lot of the unseen for Battletech came from. Battlemaster, the Griffin, the Shadowhawk, Goliath, and what else? A lot of mechs from the original unseen from Battletech come from this series. But it's 75 episodes. All of them are available on YouTube. I don't know if it's legal or not, but it's on YouTube. But they're all there, so I've been watching them, and they're all subbed, which is fun. But yeah, it's amazing. It's just like Gundam back same era as Gundam. It's like a true look at war. Like it's just crazy how they got away with this stuff. People just getting massacred all the time, and political intrigue, and it's really good so far. It's I've only 10 episodes in out of 75, so it's just getting into the story. Pretty much the Dougram has just been introduced, so it's fun stuff. Child warriors, child soldiers, as always in these shows. So.
Child warriors.
I think
the best kind of soldiers.
He's like 16. He's all right. So, but yeah, it's pretty neat. It's fun. Good mech battles and good story so far. So I'm really enjoying it. And once again, the link will be in the show notes. Oh, speaking of links, I forgot to mention that mobile suit story. If you actually click on the article that you linked, you can't watch the video, but you can watch it on YouTube. I mean, not on YouTube, on Facebook, we're on our page. That's the only place you can see that video. Otherwise, it's restricted to, you're not allowed to watch it at least in Canada. Maybe you can watch it in the States, but you can't watch it in Canada. So. It's kind of funny. So anyways, that's everything I've been doing. What about you guys?
How about you, Pat?
Not too much as far as this thing. I did almost finish up Pacific Rim the Black. Still okay. It's not knocking my socks off.
Yeah.
Cybertronic Spree, a Kickstarter, we talked about that. I'm on the fence about the Steel Colosseum also.
Yeah.
I probably won't do the Warzone Etrenal.
No, I think all those I'm going to wait for, I think. It's just, like Brian said, waiting for a Kickstarter and then realizing, hey, I don't actually want this after many years. That's what I love about, we're going to get to it, but Redline is that it's like less than a year. It comes out, you back it and then it comes out. At least you're getting your product, like... Yeah, waiting so long for these Kickstarters, I don't have that kind of patience anymore.
I didn't get into Warzone in the beginnings or the Mutant Chronicles back in the day either, so
this is not a fan.
It's not touching a part of me that I'm missing. So
it touches parts of me.
What else did I watch? I finished up season 2 and parts of season 3 of Lost in Space.
Oh, I haven't started yet. I've heard it's really good. It
is really good. And the only reason I mention it is because it has a race of robots, and that's all I'll talk about if anyone doesn't want any spoilers.
No spoilers.
Yeah. So it does have a mech/robot aspect to it.
Yeah, I've heard good things. It's kind of funny because the show has been out for quite a while now.
Mm-hmm. It is, and I've been watching it slowly on and off.
Yeah.
Like I'll go through like 4 or 5 episodes, and then I'll take like a month off.
Yeah.
But it is a good show.
You burn yourself out watching too much stuff at once now. Now that's all available. I find I watch it too much, and then I'm like, I don't want to watch anymore. It's like it's better to eke it out so you don't get burned out for these things.
Exactly. So, but if you're looking for a new sci-fi show, Lost in Space, it's a good one. It's a good readaptation, especially if you like Parker Posey.
Who doesn't?
I don't recognize the name, but that's fine.
That's because you're a millennial.
As we discussed earlier before the show.
A Gen Xer wouldn't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But as far as other things, I think that's all I've done. I haven't done a lot of reading. Again, I'm back into hobbying, so I'm not doing much of the other side. So what about you, Brian? What have you got gone?
Apart from the hobbying, not a whole lot. I'm still making my way through Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I'm on number 2 now, so there's a few more mechs, and I actually spec out my characters so that I can hack them. So that's fun. But like on the reading side, I'm back into a fantasy series. But I think after this one, I'm going to see about pivoting back to some kind of sci-fi to get the blood flowing on that front.
Pivot.
Because I do have I did get that one series, Bad Dog, that mech series. I want to check that out, and I got a whole bunch of other. I got so many books. No time to read them. But yeah, so that's kind of been the focus for me, is I'm trying to get my way all the way through Mass Effect again before I really kind of take on anything new, and kind of go from there. But obviously, I'm gonna make some time to watch Love, Death, and Robots because those are typically fairly short episodes as they were, so you can really kind of watch them like on a lunch break or something like that. But yeah, otherwise, I'm getting into Dead Zone and firefighting stuff, trying to get events coordinated. And it's interesting when like shops around you are still kind of closed to in-store play, and it's like, I want to have an event where I can have like 8 people, and they're like, can't do it. I'm like,
really, still? Yeah.
You know, I'm very surprised in Michigan that's happening.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. Obviously, a little disappointed, but I also can respect the decision.
I mean, I do respect those people that way, but I just feel like that state has been so anti everything. I'm surprised you don't get a 10% discount if you have COVID when you come in.
But it is what it is. I won't belabor that point. Hopefully, I think they've said in July is when they plan to have an open play again, which I really want to do for one of my local stores called RIW. They've been carrying Mantic products, and I want to get in there and do demos. And I'm like, I want to help you move this product. And like, you can't do demos yet. I'm like, okay. But it's fun. I got a little group of players kind of in the area, so I'm doing my best to get them to connect with one another, to just kind of get those casual games going again. And so that's mostly been the main focus of my efforts lately on things. So I think with that we're going to move into the MechBay Hanger, where we have a very special guest joining us today.
It's a special guest.
Now entering the MechBay Hanger.
And welcome back to the MechBay Hanger, the portion of the show where we have a special topic. And today we have an even more special guest, actually. We have Cameron Dukar with... Did I pronounce your name right?
Yeah, that's good enough. Duker, yep.
From Redline. The sci-fi card game that both Rob and Pat really, really thoroughly enjoy. Sadly, I have not had a chance to play it yet myself, but I have always been really thrilled by what I've been hearing about it. So welcome to the show.
You are forgiven, and thank you. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate being back for the third time.
Yeah, it's our third annual.
We'll talk about, we got a new set coming out, and as is tradition, it's, only fair and ceremonial that I show up on the podcast and talk about it here first, as I did the other times. But I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, guys.
Oh, for sure. We love having you on the show. So if you wanted to, tell us a little bit about kind of what's the big update for Redline.
So let me I'll quickly start from the beginning. If someone listens to you and follows you guys I've been from the start awesome, just kind of getting the word out and sharing, and really, really appreciate that. But if you've been living under a Mobile Armor Radio rock, Redline is a game that we kind of designed about 2 years ago. It's heavily based on like a Magic the Gathering kind of foundation with kind of like the rules and like the game flow, but it's built around the idea of simultaneous combat and maneuver, where you actually kind of fight over a map of cards. And so there's a little bit of guessing games when you deploy your Afrits, is what we call our mechs, and anticipating your opponent's attacks. But that makes it really different and unique from other games out there. Anyway, we are on the verge of launching our second expansion. So the game has got a bit of a foundation. We did our first expansion, which was called Redline Siege. That kickstarted back in the fall. And we started working on our next one, Battle of Neom, in January. So a while ago, but we're getting really close now to launch the new expansion June 15th on Kickstarter. Nice. Battle of Neom, if you know stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we just got our, I just got my Siege. Pat's had his for a while, but it's great.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to actually play it yet. The guy I normally play with had a baby and didn't tell anyone, so now we're just trying to find time.
He just hit it for 9 months? Oh.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, actually he did.
Okay. Well.
Just one day he posted a picture. Hey, say hi to my new baby. Everyone at work was like, what the hell? He just had a baby?
His first kid?
Thinking betrayal.
No, it's not his first kid. That's the even funnier thing.
Okay, he's been through it. He knows.
Yeah.
First time, that's a little strange.
Yeah, I think he probably just, I forgot to tell people.
Slipped my mind.
Or it might be a little shady if he doesn't want to tell anybody the first time as well. So.
Maybe it's not his baby. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm glad you guys got it. Oh, well, he's off to a good start. But yeah, we shipped it just probably like a month or two ago. Yeah, and we wanted to, quickly follow up with something else just to keep whatever momentum we have going, but isn't expandable. Games, you want to keep feeding the monster or whatever it is and just keep trying to grow. So we tried not to lag too long between sets.
For a Kickstarter to, like you said, it's less than a year from beginning to end. Like that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so. Siege came out fairly quick. And,
it would have been faster, but there were a couple of shipping hiccups. But
even so, we were pretty proud. Pretty amazing. Yeah,
even with the hiccups, it still came out fairly quickly.
I think about 5 or 6 months, which is pretty good, I guess, in Kickstarter terms. But we were hoping to be a little faster.
Wow.
So what can we expect? Sorry, Rob.
That's all right.
Do you have a question?
Well, I was just going to say, we just can hope that Battle of Neom, we can. You have to beat your record now. You have to get out within faster than 6 months. So
5 months.
Yeah, I think that it's a card game, guys. Come on, it's not like we're pumping out a lot of like miniatures.
You are pumping out miniatures. I love the miniatures. We have them all so far. I think, right, Pat? You have them all too, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, they are pretty sick.
Yeah.
But what does Neom bring to the table? So,
yes.
Yeah, good question. And so with Siege, which is our first expansion, was really a continuation of ideas that we had from the core set. There's only so many cards you can put into your box. There's only so many ideas. And so Siege, I'm not saying it's the leftovers, right? Although I like to microwave my pizza, but it is just kind of, again, it's just kind of what we couldn't get into the core set. So with Neom, we finally had like a blank slate, right, where we could kind of move the game and really kind of explore the groundwork we had laid with the mechanics and really try and move the game in some interesting ways, both gameplay and story-wise. So Neom is hyper-focused on a single battle. It's in the city of Neom, which is an actual city, futuristic city being built in Saudi Arabia as we speak right now.
Yeah, that's what confused me. When I clicked on one of the links, I think, in when you first announced it, and then all of a sudden there's this webpage. I'm like, wow, Cameron went all out. He made this whole fake webpage, and it was actual webpage for the real place. I was like, oh.
Those Kickstarter dollars really go far when it comes to architecture.
We figure, let's build the mega city first, and then we'll follow up with the card game. But yeah, it's this big future, really kind of sci-fi city that some Saudi billionaires are trying to build in real life. So, that fits really good with our setting, being kind of futuristic and sci-fi already. Like, that's a great aesthetic. And so now it's the climatic, not going to say climatic, but it's a huge battle between the Crimson Pact of Mars faction and the United Nations of Earth, which is our two factions in the game. But basically, story-wise, the Mars is afraid of getting invaded, and so they're going to turn the tables and do like a invasion of Earth again, to try and delay and degrade the UNE forces just to buy themselves some time. So they're not really trying to hold Neom. It's just a big distraction. But, everybody gets sucked into this, and it's really the set is focused on urban combat and what that kind of looks like in Redline.
And just like all your posts on Twitter, is it Redline or is it real life? This sounds creepily familiar. And I've thought of this... Like it's amazing how much you've predicted. You're like a Nostradamus with your card game.
So yes, and that is legit concern. So we started design in January, okay, and started working on the cards and fleshing out the story. And lo and behold, in March. Some crazy Russians decided they were going to invade a neighbor, and we have a lot of urban combat going on in the world right now. And obviously not happy with that situation. It's
for sure.
As a ex-history teacher, I'm very, very terrified of that part of the world and having history flash before our eyes again. So I'm Chicken Little, telling all my friends this is really, really bad. But yeah, it's unfortunate timing for what we had in mind. Yes.
Yeah, the only thing you haven't predicted is the giant stompy robots haven't come to fruition yet, but it's to come.
Right? That's not that far away.
But again, that's where those Kickstarter dollars come in. Got the city going. Next step is the robots.
One day. To make it even worse, we try and do more than the game, so we try and really build up the story, and we have some supplementary material that players can read if they want to learn more about the universe, the Ifrits and characters. And I actually was writing up a little background story on General Valya Serova. He's one of the generals in the core set on the Russian side. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, anyway, growing up in Russia as a little girl, this article at the time I was writing it was a little gray area, maybe a little sympathetic to kind of growing up in Russia, just economic heart. Anyway, I can't post that now.
Sorry.
In the new world we live in, because again, it's just, it's not very PC, I guess, to put something out. Anyway, I had to shelve something that would have evolved the story a little bit more because of the incident. So anyway.
You don't want to get too close to the real stuff, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
I mean, not even spill milk. It doesn't even matter. It's just like, we did try and pivot a little bit to be mindful is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, like I said, it's focused on urban combat. It all takes place in one giant urban mega city. And so we have some new mechanics that we've built into it to kind of relate that. Battletech is a big influence, obviously, on Redline. Growing up, City Tech was like my first Battletech box game, right?
City Tech.
Yeah, so there you go. So those little cardboard buildings and everything. So, we're like, this kind of think of it like this is our version of City Tech. So the big mechanic is for the first time I haven't told anybody this yet because we're still early in our preview season, but the missions have a mechanic now, and we call it Scorched Earth. So when you're attacking in Neom, if you miss a shot, it actually is going to damage the mission. So missions can take damage now. Missions have life totals, and if you damage a mission too much, it flips, it becomes destroyed, and cool. It's just kind of rubble now. It's still you want to gain it, but it loses a lot of its value, and it's just kind of taking up space in the map, right? So you got to be careful when you're planning your battles now, because Neom can take damage and be destroyed.
That's a really fun mechanic.
Damage cannot be repaired, so it's permanent, and the Crimson Pact has a alternate win condition now where if they can actually destroy a majority of the city, they can kind of win the game, because story-wise that ties into what they're doing. So destroying a city is a win mechanic for the one side, or trying to save and preserve it is for the other. So that's one way. Entrenchment counters are a new mechanic as well. So a problem we kind of had early on, not a problem, but you can't really heal your units in battle because these are giant mechs, and you can't Ferrari or you can't F1 pit stop and just get your gears changed out. Doesn't make sense. But now in Neom, you can add what are called just entrenchment counters. So kind of think of it like as shields, right? You can pile them on your Ifrits. They're not permanent. They go away at the end of combat, but they will soak up damage. So it's kind of like partial cover in Battletech, right?
Cool.
And, being entrenched can give your Ifrit some extra abilities as well. So that's a big mechanic as well, is finding cover and putting your Ifrits in cover when you're fighting.
That's pretty cool.
Very
That
nice.
gives some of the little guys a chance when the bigger Ifrits come in and destroy you. Pat always does that to me.
Yeah, and that's, it's a great mechanic because you can use it in a lot of different ways. You can kind of pad the little guys so they're more survivable. If you have an Ifrit that really took a lot of damage, you can heal it by getting it in train, jumping into cover so it can keep fighting. So there's a lot of play in it. It's a lot of fun, and it's a way to really, again, you can use it with the other sets and the other cards. It still works well with them, but just, again, expanding on, what we can do within the game and just giving players more option when they're fighting.
Yeah, having to make it backwards compatible must be hard on your mind, trying to make sure you don't break anything that's come before by adding this new stuff in there.
A little, but I mean, when we started, that was the idea, is to make this game grow, and so we tried to keep in mind, we didn't want to back ourselves into any corners.
Yeah.
And, as you're designing, you come up with so many ideas, and you just kind of have to sit on them and wait for them to have a good time. But entrenchment counters, we've been thinking about that for a while, and Neom's a great place to put them in the game.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be pretty fun. I love the idea of fighting in a city. That's going to change it a lot. Before, like you said, it's kind of generic. Not in a bad way, but like it just had 5 locations that could be anywhere. But to have 5 all city locations, so you actually get the feel of actually fighting in the city, that's going to be fun.
And in the game, we have our mission deck, so it's a random set of cards each time, right? But, there's a new way you can play now, so you can actually play out the Battle of Neom if you get 2 expansions. Anyway, if you have all 5 mission cards, right, then you can it will be a set map each time, and that will just be playing the Battle of Neom. The Battletech guy, like Tuckayid and things like that, right? Mm-hmm. The clans.
Yes.
So that's a big battle, and they have expansions where you can actually replay Tuckayid and reenact it, right? And so we wanted to get something like that into Redline. We're kind of our own version. It's nowhere near what Tuckayid is scale wise, but again, like a set battle in the history that you can replay kind of over and over, and you can actually tune your deck to fight in the city, right? So urban combat might require a different force structure as opposed to fighting on some random battlefield. So it's just a different way of playing, but excited to give players a chance to live out Battle of Neom on their own and kind of game plan for what the mission cards are gonna look like.
That's cool. And that's June 15th, you said, is the Kickstarter's launching?
June 15th. And just quick. Like before, it is coming up really quick. But we got, just like before, it's 2 new decks. A new round of miniatures are going to be made available again because it was very, very popular. And we always try to give our backers the extra goods. And so, being a backer, you're going to get, special promo cards right away. We got a lot of great unlocks. Hopefully we'll be able to get a lot more of them this time. And so it's our 3rd Kickstarter. We've done it now. We've kind of hopefully figured out some not obstacles, but, make it more efficient and make it stronger. So we're really, really putting a lot into the game and the campaign, and we're hoping it does really well.
As add-ons, you'll be able to get the core set, obviously you did last time. Will you be able to get the Siege expansion too as add-ons, or?
We talk about the Kickstarter, but both of those are available on our website right now, redlinegame.com. Yeah. And so, you can always pick those up. And we'll have a special package for new players, so you can get everything you need. Yeah, so it's an expandable game, but it's still early in its life cycle, so now's a great time to jump on. You're not missing a lot. You don't need to go and buy a whole lot. You can play with just one little expansion deck, as long as your friend has the core set. But yeah, it's very accessible, and you don't need a lot to get involved.
And you don't even have to have Siege just to play the core game anyways. Like, you could play the core game and Neom. You don't need Siege at all, right? So
exactly, yeah. You don't need that.
Yeah, that's just, the beauty of it. It's just add-ons if you want to add more freats or more special options and things like that, which is cool.
And yeah, definitely.
Growing the card pool, putting more units out there, more mechanics. It's going to have 2 new generals with each deck as well, which is like a commander if you play Magic. Just to give, again, trying to really give players options to build now and
there's a lot more options.
Explore, brew. Yeah,
it's a lot more options to build your deck now and have that fun of the hobby of the whole deck building part of it. Because a lot of people,
that's what
for Magic, that's a major thing for them.
Yeah, huge. And so we're, don't want to get too big too fast because that's a recipe for failure. So we're just trying to be sustainable, go at our own pace. But again, it's a really awesome set. The art, awesome. The Ifrits, awesome. Mechanics, awesome. And just the way where it's taken the story is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I love the whole story expanding, which is, like you said, the Siege was more just the more mechanics, but the actual story expanding in Neom, it's got me excited for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's we got villains now and more characters, and there's going to be some consequences, and so really, it is the kind of the first step now off the starting line, and it's just a lot of fun to take this really cool world, and we got a lot of players who have helped to shape it, and everyone's invited to grow it into something
that's awesome,
cooler than it has any right to be.
No, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. Don't give me. It's a lot of work.
Oh, for sure.
It's a lot. It's
so with the
fun.
buying and Kickstarter, Cameron, is it going to be roughly the same as like in Siege in the past?
Yeah, very, very similar. If we can make it exactly, that's what we'll try and do. It's a different world than it was a year ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Shipping is crazy. Inflation's a thing.
Shipping.
Everything is,
man.
Yeah, tell me about it. Everything is just getting more expensive.
Yeah.
And
well, it's good to have you. Sorry, you have your the whole thing set up now, though. So it's not like you're starting from scratch every time. You have your infrastructure there of people you work with, and so hopefully it'll be a lot easier that way, at least for the background stuff.
Yeah, no, and to be honest, the set is 100% done, and it has been done for a couple of weeks. So it's not, a lot of people do Kickstarters, and it's not quite finished yet, but, we've been sitting on Neom for a while. Yeah, exactly. It's 100% done. All the art is in. All the cards are done. I mean,
nice.
We could print tomorrow if we wanted to. We just got to get, see how many we need to make and get some of the cash to help out. But yeah, and that's one reason we can turn around so quickly is that, like I said, we don't want to go out and ask for support for something that we're not confident about and that we are not comfortable with. So like I said, it's 100% done.
Yeah, I wish more Kickstarters had that mentality. There's a lot to start with nothing.
When you have, I get when we did the first core set, it was probably like 60% done, right? And so it's a leap of faith. Any Kickstarter is, but we're in a position now, and we've done it enough that we can get it all the way done, and it's not even a worry.
Yeah, it's awesome. And new art, as always, from a bunch of different artists, which I think the art is the highlight for me, too, for the card game.
Yeah, and that's one of the funnest parts, is just working with all these. We got professionals, students, hobbyists, amateurs, right? People who want to get into the gaming industry and see Redline as a good opportunity, or they're already there. But there's some really sick new Ifrit designs, and there's some really sick characters and art coming this way for sure. And
I like the variety of art styles too. It's not just a standard style. Like you have all different stuff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's one that we want to get a lot of different, because it makes the game stronger, right? The more influences you have, the more different styles. It just makes the game look bigger than it is. Yeah, because we are still very small. But yeah, the art is not going to disappoint, and there's some really sweet pieces coming this way. We just haven't even shared them yet, but we will.
Yeah, I would love to get some prints or something of some of that art. It is so good. Like, you guys should think about selling posters and things like that, because it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we put a lot of work into it. But the artists that we work with are super talented, and again, there's something in there for everybody.
Are you doing a new playmat with this new Kickstarter too?
We got some waifus as well. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, playmats are coming as well. New stickers, new promo cards. We got some other stretch goals that we've been wanting to do that we're excited about, and we'll share when the Kickstarter gets closer. But we think longtime players and new players are going to like having some of these extra stretch goals. So really, Neom is going to really add a lot to the table in a lot of different ways.
Cool.
That's super cool.
That was very vague, but yes, it is going to be cool.
And the last one with the retro, the World War II kind of retro cards, I love those too. So hopefully it's fun stuff like that.
Yeah, we got some really great looking, like I said, alternate art cards. Look, we're trying to get some card sleeves made. There we go. That's out of the bag. And some like counters, some nice plastic counters, so you can have a little bling, I guess, but get some really nice entrenchment counters and some damage counters. So that's something we'd like to give players some really cool swag and to thank them for their support. And again, stuff that they can really use to enhance the playing experience. There we go.
Yeah, I think we need hoodies, we need T-shirts, we need hats.
That's going too, or a hat even. That's going too far.
I don't think it is.
I don't know. Like, I see people who do Kickstarters and like that. It's their first one. They don't even fund yet, and they already got like shirts made. Yeah. I guess it's cool, but having done it now and knowing how precarious it can be, like,
oh
man, you probably don't want that as part of your Kickstarter. You just got to set up like a
Kickstarter snobby.
Yeah. No, you don't want it as part of your Kickstarter. That's a pain in the butt trying to ship that stuff. I'm saying set up, there's all these different companies that make clothing. You set up some accounts. That's all I'm saying. You want to buy Redline swag.
You guys going to wear it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I still remember.
As long as it'll fit me.
That's right.
I'll wear it.
No, this has been great, Cameron. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, we look forward to the Kickstarter. Let's give the exact date again. June 15th, correct, right?
So June 15th, redlinegame.com is our website. You can look at the product we have now. You can kind of get some behind the scenes and see more about the game. We got the digital readouts, like the technical readouts from Battletech. It's like our first source book. It's free if you go to redlinegame.com. We have over. Oh, go ahead. What?
I said I love it. It's my favorite PDF.
Yeah, we got over like 20 Afrits in there, full color descriptions. We got a new one we're working on for Neom as well because players really like that.
Yeah.
So we're trying to. It's more than a game. We are trying to build the universe and the world, and so it's fun to create. But again, I do appreciate having me back for the third time. Hopefully, a fourth.
Yeah,
this is not terrible.
And many more.
But you guys are like our number one fans, and just again, I see all the support, and it is appreciated, and I thank you.
Well, it's well deserved.
And I guarantee you, when the Kickstarter starts, we'll blow it up on our social medias, on our Twitter and our Facebook. It'll be all over the place.
I know, because you guys always do. You guys are awesome. But yeah, I mean, it's really appreciated, and so just again, thank you so much.
Well, thank you for making it.
Thank you, Cameron.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we'll probably have you get back on again afterwards. Once we get a chance to play it, we'll chat about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be love to hear about your battles and some of the stories. And, that's the fun part of the game is that, a lot of crazy things can kind of happen because the way the combat is structured. So there's some good stories you can tell when you play Redline.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Usually it's good for you, and that means it's bad for your opponent, or it's good for them and it's bad for you. But either way, it's a good story. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you have yourself a great night.
Hey, again, appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Cameron.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's exfil out of here.
It's a special guest. Da, 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 da.
Okay, let's exfil out of here.
Wow, what a special guest that was. No, it was great talking to Cameron there. Redline is an exciting game, as you guys have been talking about. I need a copy of it and try it up for myself because I do really like what I'm hearing about it. So
yeah, and the buy-in is not that expensive because you get the core set, you get 2 decks, so it's enough to play with 2 people right away.
Yeah,
and surprise, Brian, I do have a deck for you because on the last Kickstarter, I for some reason had an extra core set, so I have it's waiting here for you. We just have to get together.
Okay. Yeah.
Gen Con.
Are you coming to Gen Con, Brian?
I don't think I'll be making it to Gen Con.
You bastard.
But I'll be at the Michigan GT.
Yes, well, we'll see about that. Which is just still
I tried to get Jack to drive Rob, but he got upset with me.
Oh.
Jack doesn't like to be told what to do.
You just ask him kindly. It's like,
it might have been the way I asked him, but you can never tell with Jack. He's so emotional.
I'll give the game to Pat, and he can pass it on to you because you'll most likely see each other more than that. So, but other than that, it's good to talk to Cameron. I can't wait for Neom. I love the idea of fighting in cities. So,
me too, and destroying the map.
Yeah. We miss a lot, so it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even that, though. Like, if you can't win.
Just start blasting stuff.
Yeah. You just try.
Pat's strategy is let the world burn.
Yeah, that's right. Scorched earth.
Well, some of those...
I can't have it, no one can.
But you got to understand that some of those... what are they called again?
Yeah, the bonuses for controlling the missions.
Yeah, some of the missions are the controlling them can be pretty tough.
Yeah.
So rather than let Rob have it, I'd burn it to the ground.
All right. Well, with that, I think we're going to formally put a wrap on season 4 of Mobile Armor Radio. Thank you guys all for checking out the show. It's for listeners like you that we do this, and we really appreciate it.
Definitely, thanks for sticking around as long as you have.
Rob has nothing to say to you.
I refuse to acknowledge that this is the end of a season. That's why. It's only episode 48. At episode 50, that's a mark. So
that's a mark.
I'll save my enthusiasm for 50.
Episode 50 will be season 5, episode 2.
No.
Anyway, thank you all for coming. I've been Brian.
And I'm a Chopper.
And I'm reluctantly Rob.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
This has been Mobile Armor Radio. Join our Facebook group by searching for Mobile Armor Radio. Find us on Twitter at @MArmorRadio. Find us on iTunes and visit our website, mobilearmorradio.podbean.com. Join us on the first of every month for more Mecha discussion.